So let's get started. Hello, everybody. My name is Carmela Williams, and I am a certified leadership trainer and small business coach. I specialize in working with female entrepreneurs who need help making it easy for people to do business with you. I think that's the easiest way for me to describe what I get to help you do. I help you put systems in place to make it easy for your customers to find you, make it easier for your customers to pay you, and make it easier for you to follow up with your customers. And so, you can be very skilled at what you do. You can be an expert in your area, but if nobody knows about it, if they don't know how to get in touch with you, if they don't know how to pay you, then you could be losing money in your business. So today is day 5 of our series. Make sure in the description I have put my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because all of my training, thank you, Veronica, all of my training is, as soon as this video is over, I upload them on YouTube so that you don't have to scroll through my Facebook page to find the training. So all of the trainings are on my YouTube channel, and they're even in a playlist called business coaching. So you can find that. There's a playlist for leadership. There's a playlist for daily smiles if you just need encouragement. So my YouTube channel is really organized and is there to help it make it easy. Again, that's my key word, right? Easy for you to access the trainings that I provide for you. So here we go. Day 5. Are you losing money because you won't let go? I'm talking to my solopreneur friends who got their hands in everything. So at some point, your business is going to grow to the place where you need help. That's all of our goal, right? That our business will get to a place where we need help. But a lot of times I have seen business owners who refuse to let things go. Maybe you want to call it micromanaging. It could be micromanaging. You just like to have your hands in everything. But sometimes it's as simple as we don't trust people. Like I don't trust them in my business. I don't trust people with my stuff. They're going to take my stuff and they're going to try to use it. But let me tell you, if you operate your business out of fear, you will stay stuck. You'll stay stuck because you should have a vision that's so big that you need help to get it out, right? To make it work. Even in my product business that I have to have help to get the orders out, because sometimes those orders come in so fast and so frequent that I can't even keep up with it all. I have to have help, and you got to know when you need that help, right? And so let me give you some examples. Imagine being an event planner with 5 events scheduled for that Saturday. 5 events in one day. What do? Do you turn down somebody? Do you refer them to somebody else? Or do you begin in the beginning to start building a team of people that you can trust, that can eventually, you can assign that team, okay, you all go and take care of events 1 and 3, and I'll take care of the other ones. And so if you have a team in place, it allows more revenue to come into your business, because now you can touch more areas, right? If you are just one person in your business, or just you and your spouse, or you and your child, and you're trying to run this business, you are limited to what you can do. So you have to know that when your business begins to grow to a certain place, you have to have help. And so in my Elite Women's Academy, one of the things we'll be talking about is your 3-year business strategy. And that's one of the questions in the 3-year business strategy. Who do you need on your team? Who do you need on your team? So maybe you're good, but maybe you need some help with social media. Maybe you need a social media marketing person to respond to your social media requests, to make sure that quality content is posted on your pages. So if you need somebody that can do your social media for you, are you able to hire them in year 1, year 2, or year 3? So if you decide you're going to hire that person in year 2, then what you got to do in year 1 is be financially saving and putting that payroll money up, or it's really not payroll, it's contract labor funds up, so that when year 2 comes, now you can begin your search for your virtual assistant or for your social media manager to be able to take that off of you. And so you have to be able to put a cost to your time. She says, yes, I got trust issues, but time to light a match to that mindset. exactly right, because there's only one you, and we can tell a counterfeit. See, the thing I've learned about counterfeits is it don't last. Because they may have had the idea, but they don't have the strategy. They don't have the substance that makes your idea your idea. They just got the surface part of it, but they don't have the hustle. They don't have the connections. They don't have the blueprint to make it work. And so you have to weed people out. If you get somebody in and you don't trust what they're doing, then you just move them and you get somebody else in there. So you have to be at a place where you can recognize when you need help. Number one, can you know your limits? So are you losing money because you won't let go? That means that you got to have your hands in everything. Number one is know your limits. You got to know how much you can produce. For me as a business coach, that's why there's a limit to only 10 female CEOs in my academy. I know my limits. Because in addition to that, I have pastoral responsibilities. I have another business and another team that I run. And so I know my limits. So I know the number of people that I can work with one-on-one to ensure that they get the success that they need and they can produce results. If I overstretch myself, then that's still bad on business, right? Because now I can't get to everybody. And so now I'm going to have people complaining that made an investment into the business. You got to know your limits. If you have a t-shirt business, you need to know your limits. If you're running a t-shirt business off the little Cricut at the house and I tell you I need 500 t-shirts in 3 days, can you produce that? If you can't produce that, what is your other options? What will you tell me? Do you have a referral system? Do you have somebody else you trust that can do that volume? Do you have somebody else you trust that you can collaborate with? So you tell your sis, hey sis, I got a large order. I'll do 250, you do 250. You see what I'm saying? That's why yesterday I was talking about networking. It's so important because you got to build healthy connections so that while your business is growing, you don't lose money. So it may not be where you're ready to hire somebody to come in and help you do those shirts. This may be something that you need to collaborate with. And so if you need a collaboration, you can only have a collaboration if you've built the relationship, right? And so you and somebody else are working together when you get large orders. And so when you get those large orders in, now both of y'all are making money. And that's allowing you to be able to grow your business in a healthy way. So that's so important. Know your limits. All right. Number 2 is set a strategy to pay your people. You hear me? Number 2, set a strategy in place to pay your people. I'm going to say that one again, and this is where I'm going to spend a lot of time. Set a strategy to pay your people. So when your business gets to the place where you have to hire contract labor or you have to hire a full-time employee, you should have a strategy in place to pay your people. Somebody that I've been talking to has a lawn care business that is growing like it has grown like nothing I've ever seen. And this lawn care business has individual houses and it has corporate contracts. And so we were talking, I was like, you need somebody full time, because what happens is they find themselves having to work 7 days a week to keep up with all of their clients. And they don't just have clients in this city, they have clients within a 30-mile radius, that homes of lawns that they have to cut and businesses that they have to keep well manicured. And so one person and their spouse, there's no way they can get that done, right? Not in live, you'll be so tired you can't even enjoy the fruits of your labor. And so we were talking, the strategy for that is to take one business contract, and that money from that business contract is set in your payroll account. And that payroll account now pays for you one full-time employee. All the rest of the money that's coming in now can run the business and can go for your income and can go for your salary as well. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to give you that as an example so you can set a strategy on how to pay your people. You can have various contracts in place, and then you can allocate this right here is going to be, this contract right here is going to pay my employees. This contract right here handles all the supplies. You see what I'm saying? And so you're able to be strategic when it comes to knowing how to expand. And you got to make it work for you, right? You got to make it work for you how your numbers work, but you got to have a strategy in place to pay your people, to hire your virtual assistant, to hire your social media manager. Because let me tell you something. Let me say it like this. If it takes you 2 hours to create your professional Facebook page, I can create a professional Facebook page in 5 minutes. If it takes you 2 hours to create it, you probably should just pay somebody $50 to do it, because you're losing money. I want you to think about that now. I'm going to slow down. You're losing money by trying to do things that you're not skilled at doing. If you're making, say, whatever your product is, you sell it for $150. But you're trying to put together a social media page. Say you can get that product created in 2 hours. And then you spent 2 hours trying to get the social media page updated. A VA, a virtual assistant, or you probably even pay your niece or nephew to create this business page for you for $50. Or you could be over here creating a product with a value of $150. You lost $100. You lost $150 over here trying to get this page up when you should have just paid somebody. I want you to think like that, right? If you're doing event planning, right, and you got an event and you're going to make $2,500 to do this event, but you don't have a team in place, so you got to cancel that event because you're just one person and you can't do it all. You could have paid a couple of people $500 and still profited the $2,000 had you trained somebody how to go in and set it up. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times we're losing money because we are so fearful that somebody's going to steal from us or take our idea. But let me tell you, everything that I am and everybody that I know that's successful had somebody that poured into them. They had somebody that encouraged them. They had somebody that opened the door for them. Yeah, Fiverr is a good tool. The only thing with Fiverr is, and one of the things I share in my masterclass with Fiverr is who to use. Because it's just like with anything else. You can get somebody to do the work and it ain't the kind of work that you want. And so even with that, you want a referral of who to use for which service. Because some people are really good and some people are not. But that's right. You have to definitely, if you can use Fiverr, use them because it's going to save you money. And even in that, number three is support another small business. That's where Fiverr goes. Support another small business. This is where I say so for my accounting, I use Jackson Payroll Taxes. Pastor Luella Jackson. And if you call me regarding bookkeeping, payroll, your legal status with the IRS, I always refer people to her. Support another small business. She does my books. So when I'm paying somebody to work for me, I'm supporting another small business owner. So we want people to support us, but we won't support other people. You have to have certain people that you can pour into, right? You can support somebody that's doing your books for you, or your taxes once a year, or your taxes quarterly. If you're making a significant amount of money, don't be trying to hold on to that money. You need to be supporting another small business owner so you don't get it. One thing you don't want your business in trouble with is the IRS. You need a bookkeeper or an accountant. You can support a small business by finding somebody that's a virtual assistant. I used to do virtual assistant work for a gentleman out of New York that I never met. Never met him. And so we would do our calls once a week, and they would tell me what it was that he wanted, what venues, he's a saxophonist, what venues he'd be playing at. and if he was, what time he would arrive, what time his rehearsals were. Hey there. And so I would post strategically on his Twitter page and his Facebook page, I've arrived at so-and-so and warming up. Can't wait to see y'all. But guess what I did? I scheduled those things in advance as his virtual assistant. But it kept his audience engaged, and it was something that he didn't have to worry about doing. Virtual assistants can be very good. These are other small business owners that you're supporting. So if you want somebody to support you, support other small business owners. And the thing is, they don't have to be your employee. You pay people as needed. So if you just needed your professional Facebook page set up, pay somebody to set it up if you don't know how to set it up. And then let them show you how to run it. It's real easy to run right from your phone. So I hope you understand what I'm saying, how you're losing money in business because you won't let things go. And so the goal should be to build the kind of business that you need help to sustain. And if you haven't ever thought about it that way, you have to have systems in place. You need to have a savings plan in place. You should have a separate payroll account so that money, that's why pricing, back to day 2, that's why pricing is so important, so that whatever percentage of that particular job that you did goes towards your salary, you can move it over to that account. And so that money is there so that you can have a year's worth of income already in savings for you. And then you're preparing for those contract labor people that you need to use. Even if you have a facility where people come up to, just hiring somebody to do your lawn care. If you're making $300 an hour, you losing money cutting grass. Pay somebody $50 to cut the grass. Y'all, is this making sense? I want you to see how if you're so busy trying to do everything that you're losing money because you're not doing the things that you should be doing. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should be doing it as a CEO. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should be doing it. Even running to the post office. Let me talk about that. Even going to the post office. If you are selling a product and you're going to the post office 5 days a week, you are losing money. You're losing money. And somebody was telling me, you really should check into doing your shipping at home. You really should check into you doing shipping at home. And I was like, nah, I'm not finna do no shipping at home. And when I did, I have saved a ton of money from doing my shipping at home. And then I can, and then it allows me, and then you got to put all this extra love and tender care into your shipping your packages. It's got to be a pretty package. I put a note inside of each package. There's a handwritten thing inside of each package. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to give all this extra care. And then now I print my own labels, and now all we have to do is do a drop off. And if you got a big enough, you can even just schedule a pickup. You don't even have to leave the house. So if you're shipping once a week, that ain't that big a deal. But if you're having to ship every day, you need to make some adjustments in your shipping. You really do. And so we'll be sharing all of those details. That's it. Put some passion in your package. That's how you have repeat customers. You want to have repeat customers. You don't want one-time customers. You need repeat customers. And let me tell you, if you're selling a product, you can't just sell the product. There's work that goes after you sell the product. You got to fulfill the order. You got to pull the product. You got to make sure it's quality. You know what I'm saying? There's quality control that goes into this. So there's steps that happens after that. That's why you'll eventually need help. If you got young kids, pay them. You need to talk to your bookkeeper because you can pay your kids. And it's a deduction. You need to know these things. Pay them. Don't be just giving them $5 here and there. Pay your kids. You're teaching them entrepreneurship. You're teaching them how to work. You're teaching them the value of being their own boss. Pay your kids. Oh, man. This is good to me. I hope it's good to y'all. So a lot of us are losing money because we want our hands in everything. You got to know when to collaborate. So if the order is too big for you, you may need to work with another business owner on special projects. It's okay to collaborate. Think of this. If you're a product-based business and the holidays are coming up, you and another business owner might be able to collaborate and do a special holiday promotion. I'm just throwing that out there for free. Know your limits. Number 2, set a strategy to pay people. When the certain contracts may pay your salary, it could pay your employee salary. That might be that contract may be the money you use to pay your kids, and then everything else goes. You have it outlined where it goes. So set a strategy to pay people. I'm going to say this. I'm not talking about nonprofits, but I'm going to throw this in there because some of you are running those organizations. So the same business skills are needed if you're running a nonprofit. Nonprofit don't mean broke. Y'all drop that in the comment. Nonprofit does not mean broke. Okay, I'm just wait a minute and let that soak in. Just because you have a nonprofit organization, you should have funds in reserve. Okay? You're not turning a profit at the end of the year, but the extra money that you bring in, you put it in reserve for hard times. So when donations are low, you know, when the organization is in a transition, you have funds in reserve. I want you to think of some of the well-known nonprofits. They are not broke. They have funds in reserve. And that is a real big misconception when it comes to running a nonprofit organization. So if you're running an organization, whether it's nonprofit or for-profit, the goal is that you have funds in reserve. You have funds for payroll, because even nonprofits have employees. So you have to have funds for payroll and funds in your reserve, so that when hard times hit the business, or when the business is in transition, you can still afford to pay your people. And so if you don't think like a business owner, you have to shift your mind, because the mindset of an employee, we don't have to worry about where the money is coming from. You just go to work and they figure it out, right? Well, I did payroll, and I worked in an organization where money was tight. And I'm telling you, we was praying every month through the summer months for that money to come in. And even in that business, let me tell you, they would send me an email and say, remove payroll right now, because the money would drop into the general account, and then they would tell me the moment to make my transfer. And the people that worked in that organization never knew that it was like the day before. We didn't even know how payroll was going to get paid. So this is not just something that small businesses deal with. This is a major organization that I worked for. I didn't work for them long, but I did work for them. And I was like, man, I can't be fasting and praying for my own check. But now that I'm a business owner, I get it. I understand the weight of that. But there are some things that we can do as business owners to prepare, and that is to have reserve. Listen at this. If it takes you $10 to create your product, say $10 is all of your supplies. You know, maybe you create a custom product. $10 is all your supplies and everything that you need, packaging, everything. You can't sell that product for $12. You can't, because if it costs you $10 to make the product and you sell it for $12, you only got a $2 profit margin in there. So yeah, you can buy one other. You can take $10 and buy another of what you just sold, and then you only got $2. That $2 have to go to payroll and operating cost and shipping and packaging. You see what I'm saying? You can't do it that way. You need to sell it for $15 or $20. You need to have systems in place when it comes to your pricing, so that even if you're selling a product for $15, $1 going in savings, you got to have it that way, or it's going towards reserve. I want you to be just that structured and disciplined in your business, because if you started out that way, now when you're running a major organization, you run it the exact same way. The only difference is your numbers change. Okay? So, number 1, know your limits. Number 2, set a strategy to pay your people. And number 3, support another small business owner by outsourcing when necessary. Right? If you're a business owner and you need a t-shirt done, but you don't do t-shirts, but you can do t-shirts, why are you wasting time doing t-shirts? Pay somebody that do t-shirts to do your t-shirts while you focus on what you do best. Okay? And guess what? That's a business write off. It's a business expense if it's t-shirts for your business. That's why as a business owner, you can afford a coach. It's a business expense. Okay? You need to pay for personal development, personal training and development. It's a business expense. Keep all of your receipts and run your business like a business. Let's do a recap of all 5 days. Day number 1, are you losing money because it's not easy to do business with you? Day 1, we talked about you having systems in place for people to pay you, systems in place for you to follow up with other people. Day 2, you won't rob the people. Speaking to the mindset that says, I just want to help. Well, you can help more people when people pay you for your product and service. Then you can put the money in where God tells you to put it. You can sow it where God tells you to sow it, or you can create your own nonprofit organization and help even more people. So the more income that comes in, if you are a good steward, the more you can do for the kingdom. Number 3, day number 3. Here we go. Day number 3. Are you losing money because we can't find you? I love this one. This was talking about you having private Facebook pages, no engagement, and all them shade posts because nobody's sharing your stuff, but you're not on nobody else's stuff. So you got to make sure that your private groups are visible so that we can share your groups out. You need to make sure that you have a business Facebook page so that you can have a full URL. Mine is facebook.com/TC Williams Enterprises. You should have a URL. As a matter of fact, I put that on my business cards because some people may not go to my website, but they're on Facebook, so they can just type it right in and find it and know what it is that I'm doing. Remember, a confused mind does not buy. Don't be giving people all these options. If you buy 3 products, it's $4 shipping and handling. If you buy 6 products, is $5 shipping and handling. If you buy 10 products, you got to wait till I tell you shipping and handling. No, make it easy for people to do business with you. Flat rate, I promise you, your shipping will balance out. It'll balance. And are you losing money because you're fishing in the wrong pond? You know what I'm saying? You selling, your product is to truck drivers, but you always talking to people riding bicycles. You got to get in groups where the truck drivers are. You got to be in networking organizations where the truck drivers are. You need to be talking to insurance providers who deal with truck drivers. You see what I'm saying? You need to connect with other truck drivers and get some results for them, and then give out some type of referral bonus for them referring people to your services. Remember, we don't do discounts. We do bonuses. Your client can pay your prices. And then we wrapped it up today with, are you losing money because you won't let go? As your business grows, you should be preparing for help. As your business grows, you should be preparing for help. I'll close it out with this example. I remember this young man. I remember when he was working in a printing shop and he was cleaning offices at night. And because we had a printing business at that time, and so we were in there all the time, and we would talk to him, and we understood his vision. And it's so awesome now that he runs a full-time cleaning business in multiple counties with multiple major corporate contracts. But we remembered in the beginning, when we first met him, he was just doing it at night, just by himself, and working a regular job, 8 to 5. But he prepared. So when it came time to make the transition, he made a huge leap. This is what I want you to do. Don't be thinking, oh, this is just my little business. No, this is your business may be in seed form right now. But baby, when it breaks through the ground, you're going to be able to help more families. Every time you hire somebody, you helping another family. Every time you collaborate with another business owner, you're helping a family. Every time you outsource to another business owner, you're helping another family. And so if you're really a kingdompreneur, if you're really kingdom minded, if you're really a believer, this is why you have to charge. This is why your business has to be successful, because when you succeed, the kingdom succeeds. You get to help other families. You get to show believers that we really are above only and not beneath. that we really are the apple of God's eye, that he really did give us the power to create wealth. We're not just talking about it, but we're living it. And we are a true kingdom ambassador and example of what it looks like to be a successful believer in the kingdom of God. When I say that I am a Christian CEO, it don't mean the people that I do business with got to be a Christian. It means that the integrity that I operate my business in is a direct reflection of the God that I serve. I hope that makes sense to you. I really hope this really encouraged you all week long, because I want you to be successful. You got to be successful. You must be successful because you represent the king. I understand who I'm talking to. I know I'm talking to believers who are running businesses. You got to be successful because people are watching you. And when you succeed and they ask you how you did it, you're supposed to say, because of the favor of God on my life and because other people poured into me. Yeah, God did it. God did it. One of our uplines I always say is God math. Hashtag GODMATH. M-A-T-H. Carla Neal always says that. Hashtag God math. How did your business succeed? God math. Why did you grow so fast? God math. How are you able to have employees? God math. It don't make sense. This is God math. Because I give this business to him. I submit it to him. And this is the other thing. I believe that he will send me the right clients that I need to pour into this season. And the clients that God has for me can afford my prices. The ones he has for you can afford your prices. They won't try to take advantage of you. They won't try to steal from you. They can afford you. They are assigned to you in this season. Now, listen, there are a few slots open for my Elite Women's Academy. In this academy, I've been telling you all week, we're going to transform your business in 90 days. There'll be 4 one-on-one mentoring calls where we do a deep dive specifically about your business. There will be 8 calls in total with the group, and we will meet twice a month. And those calls are on Sunday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Sundays work well because people still work regular jobs while they're building their brand. But Sunday is always good, also good because it helps you set the intention for the week. And so the Elite Women's Academy kicks off on October 11th and it goes through January 10th. We're going to go into 2021 like a boss. And I get that from Erica Cole. Like a boss. We're going into 2021 and we're going to make $6,000 to $10,000 this year, not next year, this year. And don't count yourself out because you're thinking, well, I'm not making that kind of money. It could be some small tweaks that you need to do where your income, the income that's coming into your business can shift and it can change. Imagine what can happen if you have somebody that partners with you to help you get that done. And so listen, I would love to talk to you if you want to know about the Elite Women's Academy or if you want to know about the online masterclass. The masterclass is a one-day masterclass. We'll do a deep dive for 2 hours on October the 3rd. I'm going to be sharing links with you. I'll be sharing resources with you. But after I share the details, you have to go and do the work. The online masterclass is $250. It's 1 day only, and it does have unlimited questions and answers. So if you stay on there another 2 hours asking me questions, I'll stay on for 2 more hours and answer you. The difference with the online masterclass and the Elite Women's Academy is in the masterclass, you have to do the work. In the Elite Women's Academy, you're never alone. I'm there with you to partner with you, to coach you through it, to answer those hard questions, to help you make the tweaks if it's not working right. And so either way, I would love to work with you. The Elite Women's Academy is for women only. The online masterclass is for any entrepreneur. That's on October the 3rd. If you're interested in either program, just inbox me and let's talk about it. And I can give you the specifics and all the details. And besides that, I love to hear about your business. And you never know what tips I might share with you just on that 19-minute phone call. Y'all have a great day. If you missed the other days, make sure you go to my YouTube channel. They're all there. Thank y'all for being with me. Make sure you share and tag another CEO that could use a little bit of encouragement. Y'all have a